Hey there, folks. Welcome back to Let's Play Final Fantasy XII-Zodiac Age on MysteriousJG. And this is actually the next morning after I was recording last night, because I really want to make sure I don't forget to turn in this quest. And then we just got to figure out what... Well, not quest, it's a hunt mission. But then we got to figure out which hunt mission we're doing next. Try to do them in logical sequence. I don't want to make my way all the way to the Nabardis Deadlands. And then all the way back again. Because... if you look at the map, once we go all the way to the Nabardis Deadlands, that's the Necrohall of Nabardis, we're kind of pretty far away from, because that's there. Then we come back to the Psycho Woods. I believe over here somewhere is where the plot will actually progress. So, well, then again, if I do those Esper ones last, I'm going to be bouncing all over the map anyway, so maybe I'm overthinking this. But yeah, assuming we do the Esper missions last, thinking they'll be the toughest, all of the hunt missions will probably get done, and then we'll be back in various goofy locations before we get on with it. I already heard from one of the caravans come in before you. Sounds like you made short work of that, Atomos. Yeah, I did, actually. The caravans shouldn't have any trouble bringing supplies through the mountains now. You've my thanks, boy. Hey there, Jovi.
You're grinning ear to ear, bro. What's this hubbub about?
This here boy did for that Atomos. He won't do for you like I do. Sorry. Like, vaguely a reference to the Beatniks. Who said there were no heroes in Albina?
Well, this kid's not from around here, but not to mention it was the girls who took care of it.
Was it something I said? Sorry, I didn't mean to keep you so long. Thanks for taking care of that Thomas for me. Here's your bounty, boy. You've earned every go. We also got a Gaia Rod. A Gaia Rod will teach you homosensuality. And a Platinum Shield. So avoid the Gaia Rod lifestyle if you want to be good with the Lord. Ain't life funny when I ran you down in the Barheim Passage? I'd probably just offended somebody. That's fine. I'd never seen you before, and I reckon I'd never see you again. Now here we are. You keep up your scavenging, and I'll keep up mine. That's right. Avoid homosensuality, folks. Stick with wholesome, Jesus-approved sexuality, like being into anthropomorphized rabbits. Gaia Rod might be better than something somebody's already using. Or it could be that I've already got one, and therefore it's not even appearing at the bottom of my list of Waffets. Yep, I've already got one. So, whatever. You do the hunt missions. There are some items you can only get by doing the hunt missions, particularly the high-end hunt missions. But you really do the hunt missions because you want to be, a completionist, right? You want to try to get most of the game content knocked out, particularly when you're LPing. And I still haven't decided. You might watch 100, 200 episodes of this, and then right at the very end, I'm like, okay, go find somebody else's video of defeating the ultimate super boss because it takes 4 hours. Bye. So I should at least get you the ones that don't take 4 hours, right? So we got... I guess we could just, at this point, make up our minds. We got to head back towards Jahara, Land of the Giants. The most nearby one, because Atomos is all the way up there, the Nabardis Deadlands. We could head over to the Dalmasca Ester Sand. That's actually the nearest place to here. And then from there, it's all... Oh, wait, where's Carrot Stalk? That was in the woods. This is probably the toughest of them. Rank 7. Yeah, Carrot is going to be the most difficult of the hunt missions that's currently available. So I kind of want to put it and Atomos off because we'll be going north for those. Does that make sense? Probably not. Whatever. Alright, let's go to the Dalmasca Ester Sand one. And it's in that village that's... trying to think what's the fastest way to get there. It's probably faster to take the southern exit and run... Well, I mean, we could use a teleport stone, I suppose. But if we do now Albina Fortress Southern exit, we'll pop out here, and we just gotta go... what the hell. We now have a place where we can just buy teleport stones. Why aren't I using them? Okay, it's official. I'm using teleport stones now because this would not be a very long trip. But we are officially now using teleport stones to teleport. So we're going to go to the Ester Sand. Only because this person that we need to go talk to is actually in the same screen as the Ester Sand teleport stone. If we were teleporting into the middle of the Ester Sand, we could be just as far away as we are from Albina Fortress. But that is not the case. So let's find somebody whose name isn't like generically villager or something. Oh, it could be you. Oh, it probably is you. Number 381. You come here about the bill? Gonna kill that Bloodwing for me? Yeah, okay, the character name is number 381. It did seem strange. I thought 381 was like a... There was a mistake in the game's files, and they hadn't named the screen, so it was still named Screen 381. You were in Albina, weren't you? Yeah, you're the one that went picking a fight with TZA. Then you made your escape, am I right? No use denying it. Hell, I was a prisoner there, too. That's why I know about this. Me and my buddy made our escape just after you did. Made it through one of the walls and tunneled our way out with our hands. Came out in the Barheim Passage. Thought we were free. I'd scarcely moved when a Bloodwing swooped out of the gloom. It didn't land any serious bites on me, but my friend number 982 weren't so lucky. Why are you guys using names? I know they were prisoner numbers, but I hefted them on my shoulder, jumped down in the water, and eventually washed up here. I feel like I've been given a second chance. I don't mean to waste it. But first I gotta see number 982 here gets the revenge he deserves. Oh, I'll bury him at some point. That's why you gotta kill this Bloodwing. It's lurking deep in the west annex of the Barheim Passage. Show it no mercy. Okay, give my friend the revenge he deserves. Next question. Is there a teleport stone in the Barheim Passage? I kind of doubt it. So let's just head down there the old-fashioned way. And by the old-fashioned way, I mean the slightly new-fashioned way of sped-up running, which would not have been available originally. But is at least we're physically going there and not teleporting. I don't know why I'm not pressing and holding. Wait, what was... I saw an enemy type that I didn't... I thought I saw a mimic outdoors. I might have been confused. At some point I was going to switch to the... Well, I'm probably going to do one or two more videos before I make myself... Although I'm enjoying picking this game back up, I need to set it down and get caught up on other LPs. And no, I don't mean Neo, even though I really need to get that going again. But now it's gone so long... I think anybody who picks it up and watches it from this point forward is going to be a new viewer for all intents and purposes, so I'll keep these ones going. But no. I'm into this, but I can't really spend the whole afternoon playing it because I'll fall behind on another LP. Maybe I could. If I really wanted to, I could. It's a hobby. Stop thinking out loud and get to the clan primer. Just trying to figure out exactly where in the passage this thing is so we don't waste a lot of time. Of course, we're going to have to traverse almost this entire place. And we're getting well into the zone that, well, there is a teleport stone here, I guess, as we're seeing. But wouldn't have saved us too much. But, why does it seem like there's a gap there? That's weird. Yeah, we're traversing almost all the way to where we had to go to fight Zalaria the Death Seraph. And I thought we were well and truly done with this place, but it just goes to show you never know in this game when you're going to be forced to revisit some old dungeon. And I'll give them credit for this. They put a lot of work into these maps. And they try to make sure they get they get the maximum use out of them by recycling them a lot. And I don't mean recycling them like recycling textures. I mean like the optional content will make you go back and revisit these places over and over and over. And that is one of the things, again, for the 802nd time, one of the things that was frustrating about the game that's a little bit helped with the high-speed running option is every time you're in, say you're actually in the Imperial capital, the next place the plot is going to take us, Arcades, fairly physically far away. And then you go and you find a notice board of marks, and one of them is, you have to go all the way back to Dalmasca Ester Sand to fight this mark. And you just know after you fought the mark, you'll have to make your way back to Arcades to continue the story. And then you get to the Damascus stand, and it's the mark is like, okay, you got to go now all the way to this Albina Fortress, which you had cleared and thought you were done with forever, and you got to make your way all the way through it again to get to this mark. Oh, and 90% of the enemies you'll fight on your way aren't going to give you any kind of worthwhile experience, but then the last 10% of your journey will be a screen you couldn't previously access because just randomly now you can open a door you couldn't open before, and suddenly there's really tough enemies. But like you just have tons and tons of traversing already cleared zones, and it definitely got old. And it was definitely helped by the quadruple speedrunning helps. Maybe as a youngster playing this game, I was hoarding teleport stones too, and the teleport stone hoarding would make things somewhat more difficult. But even just purely, you're going to have to fight your way through the Albina Fortress again. Never mind, like, you know, teleport to the person who's in a town who tells you what the mission is, then teleport to a location within the dungeon, but still having to fight your way through the same dungeons over and over to do the marked missions. Yeah. But then there was that weird mixed blessing where it's like, well, if the mark was really easy, you're like, okay, well, at least I didn't have to fight it 10 times to beat it after all that journeying. But then you're like, I came all that way to fight a really easy boss? Versus, I fought my way here and it took me like an hour or plus just to wander here. And now I'm getting my butt kicked and realizing, which I couldn't tell till I got here, oh, I'm going to need to level up 10 times before I can handle this particular mark mission. All that stuff potentially interfered with the enjoyment of a game that, from pretty much every design aspect, graphics, for the time, music, story, all pretty solid. This game really does have the... It's set in Ivalice, which is, I guess, kind of vaguely Final Fantasy Tactics world. Like, I'm a little confused on that. There's multiple games set in Ivalice. But I think that tends to mean shared... there's some shared ideas. I don't think literally this is supposed to take place, you know, however many years after the events of Final Fantasy Tactics. But, what the hell was I going for? I had a point. Oh, well. Ah, great. I got sucked into battle with these guys. I guess we'll see how much stronger we've gotten, fighting through Mount Baramases and all that stuff, since that was all... So the last time we were here, this screen would actually be kind of challenging. At least the next screen with constantly popping up undead was. I went on to a tangent about Final Fantasy Tactics, and I can't remember where I was going with it. Other than to say that the music is of a similar style, and I really like the soundtrack of Final Fantasy Tactics. It might be my favorite Final Fantasy soundtrack. Oh, I forget. How do you advance here? It's kind of vaguely hidden over here somewhere. Oh, it's not hidden. Well, it doesn't show up on the... It was hidden. You have to interact with something that's not immediately apparent you can interact with it. But once you've done that, the path is open forevermore. It just doesn't show up on the main map. You have to be up close in the little Sultan Ladal view before you can see it now. My next 2 or 3 play sessions are going to be mark missions. It's going to be a while before we get back to plot, it looks like. Again, hyperspeed combat. So fighting with hyperspeed combat around here was a bad idea before, but I do seem to have a combination of better equipment, and I don't think we've leveled up that many times, but we probably are carrying better gear now. It used to be we weren't even slightly resistant to all this magic damage. Then again, yeah, we've been fighting around in the Deadlands of Nabudis and the Necrodol of Nabudis and collecting stuff like... collecting some pretty high-end equipment up there as far as magic and physical defense are concerned. Like we have, like everybody seems to be able to use something called Crown of Thorns, which seems to just really... That's of course a biblical reference, but it really seems to just like blow all the equipment you can buy in stores at this point out of the water. I'm not even using my set of gambits where people are casting like Protect Gone Haste. Okay, this is going to take forever if I don't make some effort to hone in on where I want to go. Now, I don't want to gather every enemy in the history of Salvation up to here and then fight the boss, but if some of them refuse to follow... Oh, they're still over there fighting. Oh, shit. Alright, I might have just set us up for some failure here. Probably shouldn't be. Well, I'm curing her blindness. That might not have been. Might have been better to just keep attacking. But that's the gambit system for you. So is this really just going to be a regular old, like a palette swap of the regular old bad enemy, or is this going to be some kind of giant bat? Bloodwing. So we definitely gathered up some enemies going that way. I guess slow and steady is probably still the correct approach. Of course, in the past, I've fought my way through this screen using espers. For some reason, it bothers me that all these skeletons are casting magic. I feel like, no, you should be mindless melee enemies and easy to defeat. Or difficult to defeat melee enemies, but still, I feel like you should be melee enemies. You're reanimated bones. Why would ghosts be allowed to use magic in my world and not skeletons? I don't know, but that's how it is. We are not going to keep you slowed. Oh, she actually has haste applied. It doesn't just neutralize slow. That's neat. Neat. It is not niece. I have a niece. She is not the status of having haste applied rather than simply having slow nullified. She's far more. Ah! Are you feeling well? Ah! That well, huh? Ah. Sorry. I think I'm misquoting Mighty Jack. Pure beef. Anyway. Gambit system does really take a lot of the day-to-day out of this for you. Just like being able to, I got poison, someone immediately casts the thing to clear poison. I got slowed, someone immediately casts the thing to clear slow. It does just kind of take some of the. I guess you have to know how to play a Final Fantasy game well enough to set up the gambits correctly, but it is kind of like, at this point, I'm just kind of vaguely navigating them through a map. And if I was feeling a little bit more engaged, I could set up... I could go back to setting up gambits, which I think I've temporarily shut down, where enemies who are protected and shelled and whatnot get the spell cast on them. But at this point, it's not worth the turns. Any old time now, I should be coming across Bloodwing, if I'm understanding that map correctly. Then I'll have to figure out, well, what is actually the fastest path to Bloodwing? It might have been that we should have gone to the Garsmythe Waterway. We'd certainly have fought less of these enemies. Yeah, maybe that was the correct path. Either way, to get back out, we'll hit this... Well, we'll probably just go back manually. I don't know if we'll bother with teleporting crystals. No, now that we know where one is, we should. Whatever. What is the item that cures sleep rather than physically attacking for a change? I think it was like Prince's Kiss? Yeah. I think Alarm Clock would do it, but Prince's Kiss is fine. Okay, so it's an unusually large version of the bat enemies that we've been seeing everywhere. And I'm not really that intimidated by it, but perhaps I should be. We stole a pebble from it. Great. Let's see. Okay, we are depleting its stamina or its hit points slowly enough that it's probably worth it to see if we can do some... What is its elemental weakness? We do not know. So let's try... Oh, we already have slow being applied by something. One of them has a melee attack that adds slow randomly. Let's get the old blood sword equipped on Ash so that we can take a couple of swipes and see if we can land bleed. Ain't got time to bleed, or sap, whatever it's called. Oh, she might not be able to hit it at all. It's immune to poison. Yeah, never mind. She's not going to be able to hit it at all. Because it's flying. Well, sucks to be her in this battle, I suppose. Because she's not going to be doing all that much with magic either. I guess she could be healing people periodically. Try to get bleed applied. Seems to be immune to oil. Oh no, it's immune to bleed and oil. Looks like this is just going to take a while. I'm going to have a terrible view of it. Oh, okay, it's not even taking that long. So we're just going to chip away with it. Now, I could mix up my parties. It's not necessary to have an all-female and all-male party. If were I to mix it up, as a matter of fact, the intelligent thing to do, why am I not doing it? Oh, she's being targeted, that's why. But if I were to put Bosch in there, then I would have 3 people who all have ranged capabilities, but she is currently being targeted and therefore isn't allowed to... Isn't allowed to leave. That being the case, it's probably a pretty good idea for somebody to use Protect on her, or she can use Regen on herself to avoid wasting one of Penello's attack turns, and Penello can cast Protect on her, just so I feel like I'm vaguely doing something strategic with the fact that this thing keeps attacking Ash, because she's the closest. She also has the best defense. She's the one we would want to she's the one we would want them attacking anyway out of this group. And we can reinforce that by casting decoy on her. Issue right now is Pinello keeps wasting turns healing Ash. Oh, it's almost defeated anyway. It's really tough to position the camera so we can see anything except Ash. Vanquished. Oh, and now I'm fighting more enemies. Alright. Did it drop anything? Guess we don't get to find out. So we go into the Garsmith waterway, we would have... It would be a big pain in the ass to get to an orange crystal. We need to do the Garsmith waterway anyway. One of the two Espers we need to fight... well, we don't need to fight, but we were going to fight is there. She's got some, like, kind of random white magics. I thought maybe she had Stona, but she doesn't. Anyways. Just get out of here, for crying out loud. We're obtaining pebbles from these enemies. It's time to go. Pebbles in no way, shape, or form are useful. And you blinded my bunny girl. Now she can't see that she's a sexual object. Alright. And everyone's blind. Blind, blind, everyone's blind. That is my weird play on the song. Signs, signs, everywhere signs. It doesn't really make sense. At some point I stopped auto-fleeing long enough for Ash to cure her blindness. Naughty girl prioritizing her own blindness, curing over that of her friends. Naughty girl. Wow, I didn't mean that to sound sexual, but it... Alright. Naughty girls need blind cureness, too. Alrighty. Just gotta zip on out of here, avoiding traps as maximum extent possible. That should get us to a... I missed some treasure chests, I don't really care. We'll get to this teleport crystal. Now that I know at any time I can just hop onto an aerodrome and spend money for the aerodrome flight, by the way, but that'll get me to a shop where I can buy teleport crystals. Let us just jump to the Ester Sand and turn this one in, and then call it a video. Quickly have a gender transformation back into a male, and because we had been Ash, and then as soon as we used teleport crystal, we're not. And we'll turn this in. Bloodwing's dead. Take our word for it. Killed that Bloodwing, did ya? Now maybe my friend and I can both rest easy. Thanks, boy. Did you finally bury him? We got stun bombs and Vampire Fang. Vampire Fang, come out to play. Why did I say that? That didn't make any sense. I've one last thing to do before moving on. I got to lay my friend to rest in his home soil. Pity. After all this time, I've never learned his name. He's a very short fellow, as you can tell. Either that or I just chopped him up to make him easier to pack in this crate. I'll be heading off. Thanks for your help. My new life begins today. I'm assuming that crate contains the remains of his friend, but... So that was kind of a... It could potentially be emotionally affecting there. That fellow carrying off someone to be buried in his home country, wherever that happens to be. Since I'm only going to probably do one more video of this game before I switch to something else, I might as well stick with the ladies. But let's take a brief minute. It's time to end the video. Let's take a brief moment to plan out next time. I feel like Carrot Stalk will be one of the most difficult of these to defeat, but we need to go to Mount Baramases. We need to go to Mosforan High Waste, Rodeo to the Death. We need to go to... That one is actually up in the Nalbratis Deadlands. We need to go to the Land of the Garif, Ariut Village, Mount Baramases, Land of the Garif. So probably the logical thing to do next time would be to teleport to the Land of the Garif, find out about these 2 hunts, and then just kind of move, either teleporting or just old-fashioned movement from the Land of the Garif through Ariut Village, and then to Mount Baramases, and actually find out what all these different things are. So let's go ahead and try to remember where the hell the teleport stone was. It's over here somewhere, I think. Yeah. Let's get going on that trip to Mount Baramases. Or, no. Jahara? I think it's Jahara. It's the city of the weird mask dudes. And once we get here, we'll be ready next time to get going on more hunt missions. Thanks for watching. See you then. By then, I mean later.